This police station wasn't just built to serve the public. It was designed to detain dozens of people inside it at once. Rows of jail cells were built directly into the structure, turning parts of the building into a holding area for people in custody. As policing evolved, facilities like this became far less common. Most were stripped down or repurposed beyond recognition. This one wasn't. Today, the cells are locked in place, abandoned, with nearly every door still shut. Let's explore.
This must have been the front door. The front door. All boarded off now. I think we have to go to our right, and we may just be in. Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're exploring an abandoned police station. This place is very old. Very, very old. It was built back in the early 1900s, and it's been abandoned for more than 20 years. I've seen some pictures of this place, and I believe it's going to be demolished or repurposed before too much time goes by. So I wanted to make sure I could get in here before it's gone. And I was told to watch the floors because apparently they're not stable whatsoever. Just going to try not to trip on any of this junk here. But I've seen some pictures. Like I said, I don't know everything that's in here, so there's definitely going to be a lot of surprises. But from what I've seen, it's absolutely beautiful, and the decay is really just something else. So we'll just take a peek at some of these first couple of rooms here. This looks like an interrogation room or a waiting room of some sorts. And it looks like in front of me, we have the record room right here. So right off the bat, we seem to have found the administration section. And it's very cool. Like I said, very decayed. I don't exactly know substance-wise what's going to be left in here, but we will see. And we'll just continue on right through here. So yeah, this was the other side of that wall that we just saw. So probably an interrogation room of some sorts. However, there's no bars on the window back there, which I find kind of weird. Same thing over here. I know this was administration and probably just offices, so maybe the interrogation rooms are in a separate part, but this is already pretty cool. And yeah, I think we can see here, if I just pan slightly right and down, the floor is just non-existent here and into that room over there. Walking out of the records room, let's go to our left. And I think this is where we have to start to watch the floors. So I'm going to try my best to keep the camera as straight as possible and be as safe as possible about this. But I already don't quite know what to do here because this floor looks really terrible. I think we might have to go find stairs. I'll zoom in right here as well. It's completely collapsed. So I don't really quite know how we're supposed to get to the other side, unless there's a pathway through here, which is very, very possible. Kind of coming back where we came, we're going to go to the left and go through this door, which is more of a, well, cell-looking door, I guess you could say. And wow, there's a lot of options and a lot of ways to go. There's this tunnel here, which I don't really know if we're going to dabble in this, but one can only guess where that goes. That goes up towards some of the prison cells, I believe. But what we're going to do is walk down here and try to get around. Actually, I think these might be prison cells as well. Yeah. Wow. This is nuts. We'll come back and take a deeper look at these. I still want to get all the way around. That is crazy. That looks so awesome. That's a dead end, kind of, actually. Oh, there's more cells over here. Okay, so maybe we're actually gonna take a peek at these now. Look at the decay on these doors. Let's see if this just loops around. Yeah, it does. Oh, that's very cool. Kind of accidentally walked in on this. I was trying to find that other side, but this is insane. Half of the cells are closed up pretty much for good. And then, yeah, this loops back around. So I guess we'll see some of these cells in a bit more detail and then head back up or around, I guess. But this is going to be some cells from this perspective on the opposite side of the railing. So kind of just a full 360 here. And we'll see now if we can get behind here. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere except behind the cells. Let's see if we can actually see inside of any of these cells. There's like, what is this, glass or a plastic shield? I think that's actually glass, which is also kind of hindering our view inside. But I think one of these is open. Yeah, this one is here. So we can take a look. And yeah, that is so decayed. I've seen a lot of cells that are like this, but this one is really bland. There's not even a toilet. Oh no, there is. But no sink. Huh. And a very small bed here that looks like it's made out of wood and it's just crumbling. This place is over 100 years old. So you have to keep that in mind while going throughout this place. This is so cool. I don't think any of these cells are open, and I literally cannot see very well through this shielding, but it's just the same setup. It doesn't look like there's any sinks in there at all, which is kind of crazy. I don't know where the inmates were supposed to go to wash their hands, but maybe they weren't allowed to, which is just disgusting. I mean, there's not much contents left to this. There's some old fireball shooters there, and then another toilet that deserves demonetization. But the decay in here is cool. I think that makes up for it. I didn't notice it at first, but there are numbers on these cells etched in on the lower half right there. This is 9. This is 10. You can barely see that. It's almost completely faded. And again, all these cells are pretty much the same. Not a lot of content to them. Just a toilet and a literal wooden bunk. And a lot of decay. As I'm exploring this first section of cell blocks that, again, I quite literally just walked in on, there's a couple things I noticed, and I've pointed some of them out, but number one, these cells are super short, like super duper short. I was wondering why my camera angle looks so high up, and then I realized I'm not even that tall, I'm only 5'9". Another, 3-4 inches here, and I'm hitting my head on this. So that's one thing. Number two, I mentioned this, but there's no sinks to wash your hand in any of these cells, which is kind of insane. And then number three, I don't really see a lot of organization to this unless there's going to be more cells up above me, which looks possible, but I can't really see through that rusted catwalk. So we'll see what else is in here, but this is weird. Like, this cell block is just tucked in the basement of the jail. So we'll see what else is in here. I really don't know. There's this one cell, 15, I believe, that's open on this wall. Very bland. Toilet, wooden bunk, and that's it. So with that, we will now head out of this bottom cell block. Very excited to see what else is in here. I do believe there's another one above my head, which I guess we'll go check out now. I really thought that this hallway was going to extend down because these windows go straight down to the other side, past where I could not get walking wise because of the floor. So we'll see, but we're going to go up now and definitely looking at a second set of cell blocks up here, which is cool. A lot of debris we got to look out for. And we will go to our right and check out this cell. I don't see a number on here. Actually, this is not a cell, that's why. It's a little storage compartment. And that's about it in here. Why is everything made out of wood? I do not understand that. But let's circle around, and we should have some pretty decent lighting, I think at least, as we turn the corner here. Yeah. Huh. It should brighten up here in a second, yeah. Wow. This is crazy. We'll come back and look in some of these cells, because I'm seeing some stuff that's differentiating it from that bottom floor. Let's check out these few cells. It looks like the bunk was ripped out of here, and it is held down by metal plating, which I guess you'd expect, but it was all just wooden from what we could see on that bottom floor. And I saw a few of these in the other cells. Are these pill bottles? I don't really want to touch them, but they honestly don't look too dirty compared to everything else in here. That's kind of crazy. I wonder if any of them are going to be full. Let's come out and go to our right and see the cell right next to us. And yeah, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Look how many pill bottles there are. We'll step in here. I think this one's worth it. Huh. I mean, obviously these were just placed in here, but why is there so many? And why are they all in one spot? And now we're getting back to all the cells looking the same. More pill bottles, but one thing I did just notice is all of these beds are strictly different. These are not covered on the side with wooden panels. It's just straight metal. Huh. So is this made out of wood? That's still made out of wood, which is really, really weird. And yeah, I think you can see why it was somewhat difficult to see through this and see up with the light reflecting. But this is just crazy. We'll take one look over here now, and I'll flip the camera up, and we will walk through this hallway and go see the opposing side. I think we're getting the point with most of the cells at this point in time. They're all very similar, but if the pill bottles tell us anything, it tells us there could be some more differentiating stuff in here. Like in this cell. I don't know if these were restraints of some kind or just plastic, but there's some clothing in here. And we'll step out, and this is where you have to be really careful. These tiny little spaces in between, it just sags because this is rusting so badly. But I don't think we're quite at the bad part yet, which is insane. Here's the cell right next to it. And now we will come this way. Yeah, it's going to be exactly the same. Literally exactly the same layout. Definitely more light up here though. So much decay. I really don't want to bump my camera against any of this, especially not in here. That would be a fatal mistake. But I just want to see in each of these because there is some weird stuff like, what is this? Padding for what? I would say the beds, but it doesn't look like it fits that shape. And yeah, here's this one. We already saw the cell box behind us, so I think we're ready to move on to the next part of the jail. Another quick note for up here. I noticed that there's no lights or cameras inside of the cells, like up in the corner, right next to the door. So I don't know, maybe the bottom level was for the more dangerous, they're not inmates, but they're not prisoners either. The more dangerous people who got arrested, I'm not sure, but I think we're gonna move on at this point. I've done a full loop around both sides of it, so I don't know if there's gonna be cells up because there's no walkway right here, but we'll have to see. I don't think we have much of a choice except to go down and head back around and take the stairs and go up. So that's what we're gonna go do, see if we can get all the way around, and yeah, let's keep it going. This is much better than I thought, and many more cells than I thought would be in a police station. Again, this isn't a prison, this is a police station. So we have one of two options, and I don't think we went down here. This actually might have been where I was trying to go originally. Yeah, it definitely is. This is the hallway. The ground is getting worse. I'm watching that and not the camera right now. I am here solo, so whenever you're doing this stuff by yourself, you have to be extra careful. And this is exactly why, I don't really know quite what to do here because I really want to go over this, but I don't know if any of this is safe, at all. We're gonna do it because I can see where I don't know. We're gonna see actually if there's another way around first. I don't know, I don't feel the most comfortable doing that. Even if I was with someone else, that seems very risky. We're gonna go all the way around. Well, we're gonna turn around and go up these stairs. There's probably a way to get to the other side a little bit safer. So, even here though, we're missing a portion of the stair and the railing. So, I'm trying to be super careful here. Yeah. Here we go. Little view outside. All right. Really watching my step. Nothing in this room. Thank God, too, because I just don't want to go anywhere near this hole. Let's step into 304. This may have been, the kitchen. Look at that. I believe, at least. Either that or a workshop. Alright, so maybe a kitchen, maybe not a kitchen. Haven't seen one yet, so I know they weren't really cooking up gourmet meals for prisoners in jail, but I mean, is there any reason / yeah, we're gonna go over there, why not? I don't know. That floor just looks terrible. We're gonna send it. Yes. And I'm glad that I did, because this room is beautiful. It's all ice. This actually may have just been a bathroom, for as much as I say it's beautiful. It's just those windows, but yeah, urinals on this side and sinks would probably have been right here. And as I'm just trying to get over this little bit here, I'll spin the camera and show you guys what this looks like. There's some cubbies up there, but there's no way for us to reach any of that, and it's all destroyed anyway. So again, we'll turn. I can feel the ground getting worse and worse. Let's just take a little look in here. And yeah, it goes back to the identification room and empty. So let's turn again and go down this hallway. Hopefully that was kind of the worst of the worst when it comes to the floors, but we'll see. This is 308, and is that a chalkboard or a whiteboard on the wall there? Huh. Maybe an old picture just went there? What's off to our left? Well, again, there's no floor, so we're just not going to walk on that. Even the support beams that would hold up the floor are gone. So we're just going to stick to these rooms, which, I mean, hey, this looks cool. 311's no slouch, but empty. So we're just going to breeze through here. This room is made out of wood, but no defining features telling us what any of this stuff is. So let's walk out of here, keep going down this hallway, and then probably either make our way up one more time if there's another floor, which I think there is. There's a stairwell there. And yeah, 309. Let's see if this little tag on the door here says anything. In case of emergency, please contact Detective Joseph. So, no. Unless that was Detective Joseph's office. No idea what that room was, but let's move into this stairwell, which is blue, well, more teal. Kind of looks like a church here, or a religious setting in this part. Very different, complete contrast from the rest of the police station. And I think we'll get another really good view here if I can work around the graffiti or that black tar on the wall. All right, let's push up here, and I believe this is the gym on the top floor. I'm watching my step because, well, top floor, no floor. That looks insane. But yeah, this was a gym. There's no hoops or anything, and I don't really know how far I want to walk because, as you can see when I zoom in here, I only have to go about 10-15 feet until it really gets dangerous. So what I'll do is zoom back out, spin around, and see if there's anything in here. Wow, yeah, there is. I wonder if one side was like an auditorium and the other was a gym. Empty, very empty, but this is cool. The architecture up here is amazing, and it's massive. I was not expecting this room to be this vast. This is insane. We're just gonna try walking in this main auditorium for a second, and I want to try to get a better vantage point, but I'm going to really be careful here, and I'm keeping the camera on the ground because that's where my eyes are. But I'll just pan up here because I'm somewhat in the middle now. And you can see it looks pretty different over here. It's beautiful. Again, I mean, it looks like an asylum almost, but you do have to remember this thing is really, really old. And I don't know, can we step any closer? I'm kind of feeling out the ground to see where it starts feeling weaker, but still sturdy. I'm not going to get much closer than this. So I can zoom in there. That's nuts. This massive collapse. And there's the same thing in the middle here. And there's like a mixing pot there. And then all that wood is just frozen. This looks crazy. All right, let's head back down and go try to get to the other side of the jail. There shouldn't be that much more left. And I heard the basement is completely empty, but we might have to walk through there if it's the safest route to get to where we want to get. Either that or this stairwell being on the other side might drop us down there. So we'll see. It's going to be one of the two. Then I got to run through here, get some flicks, get out of here, grab the drone footage, and then move on to the next. So it's going to be a busy day. And this is just episode 1 of, well, however many videos I filmed today. Let's explore. No chairs yet. I should mention that. I don't think I've seen a single chair yet for the chair of the episode. Now let's explore. All right, so this is all new, at least from first glance. Yeah, it looks like there's a section that goes down there to my left and then extends over here in front of us and to the right. I think this was walled off here at some point in time because there's a door, and wow, that's a beautiful staircase. Absolutely beautiful. But we'll push on through here. This looks very different from everything else that we've explored. Almost just a construction zone down here. And, maybe this isn't the basement, or this is just a sub-basement. Wow, the air got very cold, but we'll definitely check that out. We're gonna finish walking down here. Before we do that, though, there might have been a fire in here at some point. This is just all destroyed and kind of looks burned. It's really not worth filming or walking through here any longer, so we'll just move along as quick as we can. But this kind of answers what was in these back rooms. I don't know if these were like holding tanks of some sorts or meeting rooms or storage. And then this is probably the stairwell going up. Yeah, so this is technically the basement. Let's go back down the hallway and go to that little sub-basement and see what else is down there. I also just realized I'm right in the front of the street. I just saw like 3 people pass by, and it kind of scared me for a second. So let's keep that in mind as we scamper down here. Try not to show the light outside too much, even though it is a very bright day out. But we will head down here. It just got so much colder. But if this is where my buddy went literally yesterday, if this was the basement, then there really shouldn't be too much left in here. But it looks like there's some water tanks, maybe boiler units down here. And then, yeah, I can kind of see where he's coming from. And again, why no one's really posted anything from any other spot besides those main areas. Another stairwell going up here. Many more stairs than what first appeared to be. But yeah, this was definitely either the basement or the sub-basement. But I'm going to say, it's hard to not kick anything in here, but I'm just going to say it's the sub-basement. And guys, I think we may have just found potentially the only chair in here. Like literally the only chair in this entire place. And it looks amazing. That is the chair of the episode. This is the chair that represents Luke Explorers to the fullest. Everyone say hello in the comments. This is the official chair of the episode. Quick check of the street. Clear. And now we will switch sides and head up for the final time here. So this wraps back around to where we came in. Okay, so just before I leave, I took a look around to see if I could get around, and I cannot. So if I want to go over this, I have no choice but to just step right on it, which I don't know. Does not seem like the smartest idea. I mean, like, that's pretty secure. I can feel under my feet, guys, how secure this is. But yeah, we should be through. Hopefully it was worth it. Oh yeah. There's more cells back here. This one's open. Same as all the others, but there's 5 or 6 other cells back here. These ones are isolated, so I wonder why they would have kept these prisoners separate, unless it's just the way the layout worked. But we can't see in any of the other ones here, and it's just one floor. But yeah, there's another half dozen cells here, so very cool. Alright, that definitely took longer than I want, but I finally made my way around to the portion where I skipped at first on the second floor. I'm still being extremely careful because the ground is terrible here. Absolutely terrible. There's nothing over there, it looks like, for the most part, and I really just don't want to step in that direction, so we'll just do this and then that'll pretty much be it. I mean, actually, I can walk through here. Probably just empty, but since I'm here, I might as well take a look. Ooh, this was a safe. Herring Mall Harvin Safe Co. of Boston. Absolutely no shot that we're gonna get this to open. We'll be here for years guessing. And I think this is where I'm supposed to be careful, because I am very visible on the outside, even though it's super bright and you guys can't see out very well. I think everyone can see in here pretty damn fine. But this is just bathrooms, probably for the wardens or the officers, not for any inmates or prisoners. And then yeah, this loops around and the ground just starts to really give away right here, it looks like. Another bathroom. And then this is where our journey ends. We quite literally can't go any further. Let's go to our left, and that should close out pretty much this entire police station. What's this? 29 is storage. And this is 22. So the numbering is a bit off. But just empty rooms. And then I'm gonna assume probably the same thing here. An office or something. Yeah. So with that, this is a beautiful window, but with that, let's head down and get on out of here now, guys. I'm just gonna wait a half second, as there is a truck coming by. And the truck is now by.